So Charlamagne did an interview with Larry Elder and got owned in his own interview. Child, this was long overdue. Is y'all ready to talk about it? Let's juice.
Come on, Blazer.
It's the beef for me.
Wow, 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 wow. For your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we live.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Voodoo Doll TV back with a quick little juice or whatever the case may be. And we over here about the Joe Charlamagne. Charlamagne the God. Charlamagne is who we about to Joseph because he thought he ate on this interview and he ended up finding out he was actually starving. Listen, as you all know, it's around political time. It's around, race time for these people to vote these presidents in and out of this doggone system. Now, what we do know is they have puppets. Some of them are black, some of them are white. The ones over the black community are your Charlamagnes of the world. Your Charlamagnes, all these people who gonna all of a sudden start coming out and having these political people on their platforms to make them look bad. But in this situation, it actually turned around and made him look bad. So he's doing his puppeteer job, basically coming out here trying to tell us or make us think that these other people are just horrible people and that Joe Biden, Crime Bill Joe, as I call him, and everybody else is just such good people. So he's doing his job. He invited Larry Elder up here. And he asked Larry Elder if he, something about a nigga, has he ever had a nigga wake up call? And Larry Elder literally owned Charlamagne. Do you hear me? Owned Charlamagne down to the ground, wrestled him down to the ground, okay? I'm gonna let y'all hear this interview and I'm gonna come back with my little commentary, but I just found it very fascinating, the things that Charlamagne was saying. And I also have some more receipts, because I'm a receipt queen, baby. I have some more receipts for what Charlamagne is saying is wrong and what these people is doing that are up at the powers that be, the people down there at the White House and people above them, they all screwing us over. But let me let y'all hear the interview and I'm gonna come back with some commentary.
Have you ever heard the term nigga wake up call?
No.
It is an incident where a person of color forgets that they are of color and are reminded rather brutally by an unexpected act of racism. Have you ever had any of those?
Brother.
I'm just asking. You think you've ever
Well,
had
I'm acutely aware, Charlamagne, that I'm a black person, just as you are a black person. And when Joe Biden insulted you by saying, you ain't really black, we don't know whether or not you want to vote for me or vote for Donald Trump, it seems to me that should have been a wake-up call on your part.
To this nigga!
How dare this guy come in here and insult you, a black man, and tell you you got to think a certain kind of way? I'm amazed that you weren't mad about that.
To this nigga!
I'm not gonna say it upset me, just like I'm not letting you upset me. You know what I mean? I don't tend to get upset over things like that. But what I did say,
well, you just not talk about a nigga wake-up call, and it seemed to me that should have been a wake-up call on your part to have a white guy come in here who also said, by the way, about Mitt Romney, because he didn't want to put more regulations on Wall Street, going to put y'all back in chains. And Joe Biden has lied for decades about his civil rights record, claiming that he desegregated movie theaters and restaurants in Wilmington, Delaware, when he didn't do any of that. He lied and said that he tried to visit Nelson Mandela during apartheid South Africa. He did not. And he came in here and told you aren't even black and let you think a certain kind of way. It seemed to me that should have been a nigga wake-up call for you, but it wasn't, apparently.
To this nigga!
I mean, for the record, I'm not a Democrat or Republican.
I didn't say you were.
Yeah, I think both.
I don't know what you are. I never even asked you about your party affiliation.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, but you are black. And to have a white guy come in here and tell you have to say, think a certain kind of way, otherwise you, quote, ain't black? Wow.
How should I have replied to him, you think?
What I just now said, how dare you insult me and tell me I think as a human being, let alone as a black person? I don't tell you how to think, Joe Biden. How dare you come in here and tell me how I should think? I'm going to vote for Donald Trump if I want to vote for Donald Trump. And if I want to vote for Donald Trump, it does not make me not black. 20% of black people, black men, as I said, voted for Donald Trump in 2020. Are they not black now? So only 80% of black men walking around are really black, 20% are not because they voted for Donald Trump? How insulting is that? How condescending is that?
To this nigga!
I mean, you're probably right, but I didn't take it in that way.
Well, I did.
As I said to him in that moment, it's just about me wanting something for my people, and I want to know what is he going to do for my people, and not only for my people now, how are you going to atone for the things you've done to my people?
Right.
That's it.
Right, and this is a guy, Joe Biden, who, when he first got into the Senate, hung out with segregationists, talked about how well he got along with them, talked about how he didn't want integration because of a jungle. This guy has made all sorts of insulting things to black people, and his policies right now are hurting black people. Inflation hurts the people at the bottom more than anything else. Letting a bunch of illegal aliens into the border are hurting black people more than anybody else, as I said earlier. He opposes school choice when he has his own kids in private school, and we lost a year, almost 2 years of in-school education in California because of COVID that he supported. I mean, this guy has done monstrous things to black people, and then for him to come in here and tell you how you ought to think as a black person, that blew my mind.
As a person objectively who doesn't care about either party.
So now you guys just heard Larry Elder literally son Charla. Charla, get your ass up here. We need to talk. We need to have a conversation. You was just sunned. Do you hear me? By Larry Elder. And he made some really good points. Number one, Joe Biden did lie. He lied about a whole bunch of things. Hanging out with segregationists. He lied about his part in the doggone crime bill and all the stuff that he said was in it and how it affected and did not affect America. And I got a video for that, or I got a little clip for that, and I'm going to show y'all. He also lied about civil rights. And Joe Biden, crime bill Joe, a.k.a. Joe Biden, a.k.a. I don't trust this man, I was about to say something bad, has lied and has mentioned black people and putting them in jungles and all of that stuff. But nevertheless, I love the way Larry Elder owned him. I loved it. And you know what's crazy? Because, you know, Uncle Charla is basically a puppet. He knows he has to take that disrespect. He has to take that disrespect and want to say, wait, I didn't take it like that. Charlamagne, every other person in America that were black took it like that. Every black person in America took it like that, but you're not about to gaslight us and make it seem like you didn't take it like that. You took it like that, but see, you used to getting spanked like that. Y'all remember when he sat down with Kamala Harris? Peep this out.
Sorry to interrupt.
They're acting like they can't hear me.
I can hear you.
Oh, so who's the
I
real?
can hear you.
So who's the real president of this country? Is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden, Madam Vice President?
Come on, Charlamagne.
Come
on. It's Joe Biden.
I can't tell sometimes.
No. It's Joe Biden, and don't start talking like a Republican about asking whether or not he's president.
Do you think Joe Manchin is a problem?
It's Joe Biden, and I'm vice president, and my name is Kamala Harris.
You see how he take his public humiliation from these folk? He knows that that's what he has to do because that's what he's been paid to do. Listen, they've signing all these doggone podcast deals. They signing all these $100 million deals with all of this and all of that, getting all this success. They have to pay for it. They remember the door? Nori talked to us about the door. The door. He went through the door. So because he went through the door, now he has to take a public lashing by not only Crime Bill Joe, but Kamala Harris as well. Now, back to this Larry Elder thing. What I do like is the fact that he owned Charlamagne. He owned him with doggone facts. Charlamagne tried to deflect, talking about, well, I'm not Republican or Democrat. Larry Elder said, I didn't ask you that. I didn't even ask you your political party. What I'm saying is, you telling me about a nigga wake-up call, but you ain't trying to understand the fact that you've been through multiple nigga wake-up calls, and you ain't did nothing about it. Now, moving on, Judge Joe Brown set up with, what's this dude name? Kwame Brown. And he was talking about Joe Biden and all of them. Because I don't know if y'all know this. Judge Joe Brown went to law school and was in a circle with them people way back in the 60s and 70s. So he's very, very familiar with the old Joe. With the old crime bill Joe. He know a lot about Joe and Scammer. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, he sat down with Kwame Brown, and had a conversation with him and was talking about the things that he personally heard Joe Biden say. And I'm going to let y'all hear it and I'll come back with some commentary.
Ed Byrd, former Grand Dragon of the Klan, and they were talking about this young man who had a stupid looking ducktail like he was roaches. If they're allowed to integrate the schools, they will infest them and they will never be gotten out. Negro.
Who said that? Joe Biden said that?
Yeah, I heard it.
Wow.
Saw it. He said Negroes were animals and they turned the streets into jungles. And he and Senator Eastland had a plan where they could put all of these Negro animals in zoos. Now, we talk about the 94 crime bill. That wasn't shit. The 91 was bad. The
91
was really bad. The 81 was the one where one rock got you 5 years, which due to some other stuff Biden and Stennis and Eastland did, it wasn't 5 years with parole. They abolished federal parole. So you get 5 years, you get 60 months, and you get released with all good and honor time at 56 months from federal custody. And then that was the 81 when then there was the 79 and the 77. So let's give blame where blame is due. That bastard has been a racist dog, and he used to talk about he understood the Negro because he was raised in Delaware. And he said Delaware was a proud slave-owning state that basically copped out by not going with the South during the rebellion as it should have, because they were too close to D.C. to not be intimidated. So I listened to this racist dog. I kept up with him because I was practicing criminal law in federal criminal trial.
So now y'all just heard the judge Joe Brown say what he witnessed and heard personally firsthand with about the crime bill Joe dude. And let me just say a couple of things on this. Number one, it's funny because Joe Brown has been saying this way before they started running. He was saying this when he was the vice president for Barack Obama. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because now that he's saying this stuff now, a lot of people are just now hearing it because they like to suppress videos like this so you don't get to see it, so you don't get to hear the things that actually happen. And they also realize most people won't believe it. They'll just go along with, like sheep, like everybody else. But ultimately, one of the things that he brought up was the same thing Larry Elder brought up. The crime bill that he basically wrote that basically said if you got caught with one crack rock, you got 5 years and you get 56 months early release. That's what, shy of 4 months of 5 years that you get to be released if you have good behavior for one rock. Who was the most people that crack basically affected in the community at first? Black people. So not the cocaine, but the actual rock is what got you all of this time. And this was authored under Crime Bill Joe. So I'm with Larry Elder. All of the things this man has done, and you mean to tell me you didn't feel no type of way with him telling you ain't black if you don't vote for me? Like, this is insane. And I believe he was a racist and a bigot. I believe all of that because that's what these people are. Now, let's move on. Here's another one of them times where Charlamagne sat down with Crime Bill Joe, and he was asking about, some of the things that he had done. And he was asking him, hey, what is this about the civil rights? And what is this about the crime bill and all that? And Joe Biden straight lied through his teeth. But see, this little clip has receipts at the end of it. Y'all check this out.
I gotta ask you though, why so much resistance on admitting the crime bill and other legislation you are a part of was damaging to the black community? Because we had Hillary on a few years ago, and Ms. Clinton said that the crime bill we made a lot of mistakes with that, and she wanted to atone for that by becoming the next president. Like,
she was wrong. What happened was it wasn't the crime bill; it was the drug legislation. It was the institution of mandatory minimums, which I oppose. Mandatory. I oppose the ban.
I thought you was a part of that in '84 as well. The Comprehensive Crime Control Act that established mandatory minimum sentences for drug offenses.
No. What happened was what you're confusing is what happened was the Black Caucus came to me and said, "Look, I did this study when I was chairman of the Judiciary Committee. We looked at every district of the."
If you have a piece of crack cocaine no bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand, $1/4 of $1, we passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurmond and myself and others, a law that says you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years. You get no probation, you get nothing other than 5 years in jail. Judge doesn't have a choice. Now,
it was the institution of mandatory minimums, which I oppose.
They have got to keep every prisoner in jail like we do it federally 85% of the time for which they're sentenced. Right now, they're only kept in jail in the states on average 41% of the time. I like the idea they keep in jail longer. I'm the guy that wrote the bill requiring federal judges to keep people in jail 100% of the time for which they're sentenced, and the notable exceptions only 85%. So I'm all for tougher enforcement.
I mean, at this point, everything Joe Biden, Crime Bill Joe, everything that he said was debunked in the same video. Like, what more do we need, black people? What more do we need? And this ain't even about Joe Biden more than it is about our sellout partner over here, Uncle Charla. Because see, Charla knows that he's going to get humiliated. He knows the rituals. He knows that he has to do what he needs to do because he's already gone through the door. So that's why they can handle him and talk to him and lie straight through his face like that. And then he come back and regurgitate it to us as if it ain't what it was. But that's what I appreciated about Larry Elder. Now, a couple of things in this clip, right? This dude, Charla, basically got up there and said, aka Leonard, because that's his name, got up there and said, well, when I was talking to Hillary Clinton, she said she wanted to atone for some of the things that was messed up in the crime bill. Do you forget that her husband was one of the first people to institute the crime bill? Not the first. I want to say George Bush did. But do you understand that her husband was a part of it too? She was in on it, fool. But see, he not going to tell us that. He not going to tell us that because he's a puppet. What he going to do is make it seem like she was genuinely interested in making things right by niggas. And she wasn't, just like he ain't, just like Charlamagne ain't. Let's talk about it. Everything this man said was debunked in the very same video. I love it. I love it. And the fact that Charlamagne can sit up here with a straight face and look at even Larry Elder or us and make us believe that it ain't what it is a problem. But it's problematic because these people are being paid. No different from any other celebrity. No different from any other athlete. These people are being paid to basically feed us bullshit. Even when it's right in our face, they're paid to feed us bullshit. Now, when it comes to this doggone president, every time you catch him in a lie, he get the coughing or stuttering, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of them putting that platform in front of our faces for us to even watch the BS. I'm tired of it. It's just so simple. And then let me just say this too, because he said he spoke with the Black Caucus. Do you guys understand that those two words right there are oxymorons? Black and caucus, Caucasian. Y'all could get it if you want, if you don't. But whatever. These other people who, the boule who are paid to basically play in our face like Charlamagne and all of the rest of these folk. He said he spoke to them and that they were going to find out ways to get through this stuff because this didn't happen like this and that didn't happen like this. Sir, hello, knock on. Hey, sir, you lying. You lying. You lying. But again, this ain't about Crime Bill Joe. This more or less about Charla basically getting on, number one, and number two, lying to us. Listen, there's a reason we were overtaken. It was us selling us. When they tell us that that's true, they selling us right now with all these celebrities, with all these people on these podcasts, with all these people that's doing all. They are selling us. Us is selling us, basically. And we don't even see it. Anyway, let's move on. Now, in this clip, we have two more buffoons, two more niggas, basically paid by the system to be puppets. Because let me start here first. I don't watch CNN. Don't watch them. I don't watch Fox News. Don't watch them. I don't watch none of them. I watch Twitter to see what's going on from the people. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we got two buffoons up here who acting like one of them care about us and the other one do. And he's going to trip this lady up on her words about basically her support for the Crime Bill Joe and all of these other people. Y'all take a look at this video. This is exhausting.
Sentencing incentives here.
And I mean, there is a reason for
but
that.
There's a reason. Let me put it up. Let me put it up on the screen, guys. The Truth in Sentencing section of the 1994 Crime Bill. This is page 21. It incentivized, it offered billions of dollars to build new correctional facilities if states would increase the percentage of convicted violent offenders, increase the average prison time, increase the percentage of the sentence was there. Did this bill not incentivize putting more people in jail and keeping them there longer?
Victor, I am not.
Oh, yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
I'm gonna sit here and tell you the crime bill was perfect. There was some really great preventative things that it did. It took on the NRA, and then there was an overcorrection. What you're describing was an overcorrection. There was a reach. Some folks went too far. The bill wasn't perfect. Republicans fought to put a lot of things in that bill. Democrats fought to get a lot of things out of the bill. But at the end of the day, Victor, at the end of the day, no one is suggesting that what has happened, what has ravaged communities over the last 27 years does not need to be fixed. No one is suggesting that there is not a real issue, there's not a real problem or a real issue. And I'm here to tell you that Vice President Biden will roll out, you'll see a criminal justice policy soon. We are going to continue to have this conversation.
So now you guys heard that. To be honest, I don't even want to give as much commentary on this because this stuff is right in our faces. If we don't wake up, we gonna be catching the okie doke and the banana in the tailpipe. That's just what it is. None of these people up here care about us. Not the one on the left, not the one on the right. None of these people in these doggone offices care about us. Not the ones on the left, not the ones on the right. At this point, we need to be playing defense and doing whatever it is we can to basically make sure we're not affected as much, because a lot of this stuff is inevitable, period. But yeah, I just wanted to get up here and talk to y'all about Charlamagne getting cooked. That was funny. Shout out to Larry Elder, bro. You my new hero. I don't even know you like that. You my boy. Shout out to Larry Elder for giving Charlamagne yet another nigga wake up call. But guess what? This time he still ain't gonna wake up, because he ain't woke up from the other people giving him the nigga wake up call. So he ain't gonna wake up from this one. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all think. I'm gonna leave y'all with some words from Malcolm X. Let me tell you, this man's words are more prophecy than anything. And I'm telling you, everything he said and was talking about then is happening now. Pay attention to these illegals coming into these black neighborhoods, taking over everything, being able to make profit, open businesses, make sales. And all of this is thanks to your Democratic crime bill Joe and his party people, and the other side too, don't be twisted. But all of this is thanks to these people. They taking over everything. Y'all got to be strong. Y'all got to play defense and be ready for war, because we are at bio war, we are at biochemical war, and we are at actual war with our own government, man. I'm going to leave y'all with these words. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all think. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit me up in the Discord so we can be talking offline and getting some more ideas to come up here and talk about. And I'll see y'all hoes later. Bye.
If white immigrants can come to this country 50 years ago with nickels and dimes and no education, and come here and pool their little nickels and dimes and no education and set up little stores, develop these stores into larger stores, develop this into an industry which creates job opportunities for whites. Since Lincoln was supposed to have freed the black man 100 years ago, and today the black man, according to the government economist, has spending power of $20 billion per year. We feel that with the black man spending $20 billion a year, not setting up any businesses, not creating any industry, not creating any job opportunities for his own kind, he's not in a moral position to point the finger today at the white man and tell the white man that he's discriminating against him for not giving him a job in factories that he himself set up.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.